Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Up the Guts. We're continuing our top 50 AFL Player series. Today, we are on to the players 30 to 21. If you haven't seen my rankings of 50 to 41 or 40 to 31, make sure you go back, click on the channel, go back and watch those videos. Without further ado, let's get into my rankings of the 30 to 21 best players in the AFL right now. Let's go. In the 30th spot, I've got Hawthorn small forward Dylan Moore. Now, Dylan Moore has really come onto the scene in the last year or two. During 2021, I believe, was that COVID year, was delisted and re-rookied, I believe was the story, or he was close to being delisted. And now he's just, I think, is Hawthorn's second most important player behind James Sicily. The way he works so hard as a high half forward, almost plays as another midfielder, but gets back, can take a good mark over his head for his size, tackles hard, chases, and just goes at 110% at all time. Anyone would love to have Dylan Moore in their forward line. So Dylan Moore is my number 30. 29, I got GWS midfielder Tom Green. Now, Tom Green, I know on SEN Gary Lyon calling clean, lean Tom Green or something like that. Clean that because his hands are so clean. He's so clean with below his knees, picking up the ball, one of the best in the AFL if you ask me. Just where I've mentioned, I'd love to see him impact the scoreboard a bit more and just kick a bit more. He gets a lot of handballs and not enough meters gained, gets the clearances, gets contested, but I'd just love to see him hit the scoreboard a bit more. But Tom Green, great player. I love the way he goes about it, and he's my 29th. Number 28, I got key forward from the North Melbourne Football Club, Nick Larkey. Now, Nick Larkey in any other team, in a top 8 team, would kick an 80-plus goal season, I personally believe. Great overhead, works really hard, great set shot, really accurate, and the way he kicked 70-plus in a season just a couple of years ago for a team like North Melbourne, who are not the best. We know they've had their troubles the last few years. It's just phenomenal. So it's hard not to leave Nick Larkey out of a top 50 player in the AFL. Number 27, a person who was drafted with all the talent. We heard about it, but last year we really saw it come about. But it was injury affected in the second half of the year. But it's Isaac Rankin. Isaac Rankin's so exciting. And now Adelaide are using him more as a midfielder to play that centre forward role, where he can get the ball and just explode. He's got such great speed, and he's got such ball skills. That's why they've used him up the ground too more. Not only for his speed, but the way his ball skills, and he hits targets that not a lot of players could, and he's really creative with it. He'll hit kicks on the outside of his boot, hit kicks on angles. He's just so dominant, and he's one of the best players in a forward stoppage. You need to have shoulder on shoulder with Isaac Rankin, because off the forward stoppage, he's one of the more clever players in the AFL who can get that crumb off the ruckman, being Riley O'Brien of Adelaide, and kick a goal and convert. So Isaac Rankin is number 27 in the top 50 players in the AFL. Number 26, I've got another small forward from the Sydney Swans, and my personal opinion, probably the best small forward in the AFL. You verse him, you'd hate him. It's Tom Papley. You'd love to have Tom Papley in your team, but when you verse him, you hate him. He's just a little rat bag, isn't he? But he can go into the midfield and have a lot of damage as well. Just knows how to hit the scoreboard, runs really hard all day, and just is in your face. And you know when there's a ball in that forward line, he's going to go at 120% to get that ball and kick the goal. He's just a phenomenal player, has been for a while now. Tom Papley, if you don't have him in your top 50 players, I'd have to say you're dreaming. Number 25, so we're at the halfway mark now, and it's Adelaide Crows skipper Jordan Dawson. Yeah, Jordan Dawson. So Jordan Dawson had a bit of an off year last year after the first year coming on to Adelaide and really dominating. I believe he was an All-Australian. He was at least in the squad. He was one of the top midfielders in the comp in that year. Fell off a little bit last year, had some off games, but he's a quality player. Great ball user, so they've moved him they play him as a permanent midfielder. They play him a bit off half forward as well last year to get that ball movement going inside 450 to get into the likes of Darcy Fogarty quicker. So I'll be interested to see how they use Jordan Dawson, because there's a few ways they can go about it. They picked up Isaac Cumming. James Peatling they also got. So there's a couple of other midfield options that they can go with as well. So interested to see Jordan Dawson, how he leads the Adelaide Crows in 2025. In the number 24 position, some people may have him higher, some people might have him lower. I've seen him on lists where he's lower, I've seen him on lists where he's higher. But it's the Hawthorn skipper, James Sicily. in the 24th spot. James Sicily is the best swingman in the AFL as we speak. The way he can impact games on the back half of the ground is phenomenal with his intercept marking capabilities and his ball use. But then when he goes forward, he's such, with his intercept marking capabilities, obviously played as a forward at the start of his career, but he's a great mark out in the lead, great mark overhand. He's a beautiful set shot. So he's the ultimate utility player and the magnet. I've said it before, but he would be Sam Mitchell's favourite magnet. No better player to lead that club with a player who can play at both ends of the ground and lead that way than James Sicily. So he is number 24. Number 23 is a halfback from the Sydney Swans, Nick Blakey. Debut All-Australian nod last year. Well-deserved. The halfback line provides plenty of drive. It's going to be interesting to see. He did dominate, especially in that third quarter last week in his loss in round 0. As we record this, it is Thursday, the day of round 1. Did dominate in the game against the loss against Hawthorn, I thought, especially in that third quarter where he had 10 disposals and a goal. But it's going to be interesting. They've pushed Tom McCartan forward, so they haven't really got a tall defender. Lewis Malikan is going to have to play probably that number 1 key. And Nick Blakey is a height who could really play as a third tall, but then you're going to nearly have to play him as a second tall if it keeps going like this, which is not what and Sydney would want. They need his run off the half-back line. They need him pushing up high on the ground. They need him dashing, tucking the ball on his arm, getting that lizard-like movement going and delivering the ball inside 450. That's Nick Blakey at his best, and that's the Nick Blakey that the Sydney Swans need in their side. Number 22 is the Essendon skipper, Zach Merrett. Zach Merrett is a quality player. He's a player who's probably gone underrated in some times this season. He's the best ball user midfielder in the AFL. You could argue he probably is too, and he consistently uses the ball well. Makes players around him better. He's played in a side that have been underwhelming over the years. Could this be the year that they push him with the likes of Kako coming up and Nate Caddy? If they have someone like Isaac Kako, if they have someone like Zach Merrett delivering the ball, that they are going to have a day out, a dream season. So Zach Merrett, the perfect leader for the Essendon Football Club, and he is my number 22. To round out the 30 to 21 section, the 21st best player in the AFL is the Melbourne skipper, Max Gawn. Now, Max Gawn, still at the age of, let me just get this up, believe he would be 33, wouldn't he? 32, 33, Maxi Gawn. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, 33. The age of 33 still is probably one of their most important players, Melbourne. Great leader. Impact the game through the ruck, but also pushes forward, has kicked goals later in his career now, throwing that into the game. But the way he moves behind the ball and takes a big mark too is so crucial. With the likes of, if Clayton Ola and Christian Petrarca can get back to their best, they already have Viney down there, drafty Harvey Langford. No better player to have there tapping it down your throat than Max Gawn, I believe. So Max Gawn is my 21st player, best player in the AFL. Well, there is my 30 to 21 best players in the AFL, my top 50 AFL players series. Let's go over this 30 to 21. So 30 is Dylan Moore, 29, Tom Green, 28, Nick Larkey, 27, Isaac Rankin, 26, Tom Papley, 25, Jordan Dawson, 24, James Sicily, 23, Nick Blakey, 22, Zach Merrett, and 21, Max Gawn. Thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And in particular, you don't miss the upload because the next one we will be doing is the 20 to 11. So we're getting into the top 20 now in exciting times. But until that next video, I'll see you guys then.